Let's get started with the early signing period and the National Letter Intent recruiting class. I am your head tennis recruiting coach here at NCSA. My name is Coach Abe, and just kind of give you a little quick introduction about myself. Again, my name is Coach Abe. I was a former 4-star on tennis recruiting.net, number 22 in Texas and 169 in the nation. The UTR roughly around 12. I was actually a walk-on for Texas A&M University, so I decided to actually not take any of my scholarship opportunities or offers and decided to try and walk on to my favorite university, which is Texas A&M University. That's also where I got my undergrad degree in sports management, and then I got my master's degree at Georgetown University in sports industry management. I worked for a couple different jobs. I worked for the Washington Redskins for a little bit, as well as the Houston Texans, before landing here at NCSA. So this is actually the outline for today's class. All right, we're really talking about some National Letter Intent facts, when the signing period dates are, and a couple of information about the National Letter Intent membership, some releases and appeals if you do choose to make the National Letter Intent void, or want to transfer somewhere, junior college and the National Letter Intent, and some facts about that, and really just the National Letter Intent office contact information, and then really just next steps for those that had a chance to do the early signing period, which is in November. And lastly, I did leave the last 10 minutes or so for any questions that y'all had. Awesome. Anytime at this point throughout this class, if you have any questions, please feel free to type in the chat box, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible with it. Awesome. I am also going to be leaving each slide roughly about 5 to 10 seconds so that y'all can jot down some notes from there. And again, if you are watching this as a recording, we'll actually be sending a record to your email at the end of this class so that you can watch it at your own time. Started with the first one, which is some of the NLI facts. Really, the definition of an NLI is a binding agreement between the prospective student athlete and an NLI member institute. Prospective student athletes agree to attend the institution full-time for 1 academic year, which is actually 2 semesters or 3 quarters. Institution actually agrees to provide athletic financial aid for that 1 academic year. All right. Awesome. So for the National Letter Intent to be valid, first thing you do is must be accompanied by an athletic financial aid agreement. It will come with your letter of intent, and then you must include your National Letter or NCAA ID. This is when you register for the NCAA Eligibility Center. This pertains to Division I and Division II. The NAIA has its own separate Eligibility Center and its own separate little intent. And then Division III obviously doesn't have any because there's no athletic scholarship involved. This is available once you register with the NCAA Eligibility Center, and all junior college for student athletes must also have an NCAA eligibility ID number. So you definitely still have to register even if you are still in junior college as well. All right. You also must not be signed prior to those signing dates, and I'll get to those signing dates in just a little bit. And then you also must include parent or legal guardian signature if the potential student athlete is under the age of 21. To continue on with some of the facts, there are actually some ways for the letter of intent to be declared null or void. All right. So the very first one, first and foremost, is denied admissions to the college or university. That means you still have to get into the university, and the National Letter Intent and getting into the school is completely different entities. So you definitely have to still be void on both of them to gain admissions as well as earn that financial aid. All right, the letter of intent doesn't meet NCAA institution or conference eligibility requirements. So there's definitely 2 different requirements and things like that, like I said, to be eligible. If you had a 1-year absence, signees do not enroll for at least 1 academic year, 2 or 4 years, at 2 or 4 year school, and scholarship is no longer available. The next thing is discontinue the sport, you stop playing it, and then the last one is recruiting rules violation. So it's the signee's choice to null and void the National Letter Intent in this situation. So you definitely look up more information on the recruiting rules violation on this side of things on their website, which I'll give you at the very end. The next thing, very, very important, coach change. All right, sometimes a coach hires even after signing you or promising a spot on the team or things like that. So student athletes sign a national letter of intent with the institution. All right, not the coach or the coaching staff. A coach or coaching staff leaves, then you're still bound by the purpose of that national letter of intent if you still sign it. All right, you're going to school for academic purposes in addition to being able to play tennis for them, and so you want to make sure that the school that you choose to go to with a letter of intent is the school you want to do well academic side of things, obviously. So in the next kind of topic we're going to talk about is coaching contact prohibited at time of signing. All right. So there's going to be what's known as kind of a dead period. So a coach or institutional representative cannot hand deliver the national letter of intent off campus or be present off campus at the time of signing. All right. So that means you're going to be, signing this with your parents, or possibly school may put up an event for you to sign with other student athletes during the early signing period. The intent may be delivered by express mail, courier service, regular mail, email, or fax. And a national letter of intent can be submitted to an institution by electronic means, or in mail, courier services, regular mail, email, or fax. So we're going to talk about kind of the signing period dates as well as membership to it. So early signing period for tennis is November 8th through November 15th of 2017. If you miss it, you would have to actually wait until the regular signing period, which is in April 11th and starting all the way to the August 1st of 2018. So definitely check it out. If you miss it, it's okay. There's definitely still a little bit of time for the recruiting process to kind of happen. And I'll explain a little bit more about that later on. National intent membership. So this is pertaining to how many schools do this letter of intent, which is Division I, Division II. So there's 420 men's teams and then 541 on the women's team side. So definitely going to be able to sign that national intent for a majority of those Division I, Division II programs. So the levels not affected by the national letter of intent are the Ivy League schools like Harvard, Yale, Dartmouth, Cornell, things, schools like this. Service academies like Army, Navy, Air Force. Division III institutions because they don't offer scholarships. NAI institutions, they have their own separate eligibility center, their own separate letter of intent preparatory schools and junior colleges. However, you still need to register at junior colleges with NCAA eligibility center if you do want to transfer to a Division I, Division II program afterwards. Cases and appeals. All right, so out on the national letter of intent, and you when you get onto that campus and you actually don't end up really liking it or whatever, you can do what's known as a release request. So requests must be initiated by the national letter of intent by submitting the national letter of intent release request online. An institution may release the signee from his national letter of intent obligation, and its institution's discretion to grant a release or not. All right, there's two different things. All right, the national letter of intent release is different from national NCAA permission to contact form as well. All right, so you're definitely gonna have to get both of those signed to be able to really do the transfer or release process with the national letter of intent. All right, so the national letter of intent release is not the same as an NCAA permission to contact. Releases cannot include conditions to be released to specific institutions. All right, so once you be released from your school, they are not able to release you to another school. So you would have to have your own, do your own research on trying to find a way to transfer out or go to a different school. So going to junior college and the national letter of intent. So all junior college prospective student athletes must have an NCAA Eligibility Center ID. So enrolling in a junior college after signing a national letter intent, there's some requirements. So you must graduate from that junior college to satisfy the NCAA 2-4 or 4-2-4 transfer rules. So the 2-4 is transferring from a junior college to a four-year college, or transferring from a four-year college to a two-year college back to a four-year college. So you can definitely see a little bit more information about the transfer rules and the NCAA transfer guide on their website. So if you do enroll in a junior college without previously signing a national letter intent, you can still sign a national letter intent while attending a junior college if you're a qualifier. So that means you still have to keep up your grades, you still have to make sure that your academics are in order, you're taking the right classes, and again, the transfer guide will definitely help you with trying to find out if you're a qualifier or non-qualifier. A qualifier cannot sign a national letter intent in the first year of junior college enrollment. All right, you must attend the junior college for at least 3 semesters or 4 quarters. So what this means is, if you are in good standings, you can, sign a national letter intent. But if you're a non-qualifier, you're not good standings, you have to do 1 year at that junior college. So here are the National Letter of Intent Office contact information. Their phone numbers, 317-223-0706, and then their email is nationalletterintent@ncaa.org, and then this is their website, the nationalletter.org website. So if you have any questions or you want to just dive a little more deeper into it, this is information, and if you want to be even more specific and just asking questions about specific things that you have, you're more than welcome to contact them at any time, and this is the information. I'm going to leave it here for about 5 seconds or so for that. Y'all can jot it down. So if you not sign the national letter intent in November, that is okay, because you still have the regular period. So don't panic. There's still time to develop interest. All right. So if you're thinking about D1 and you weren't unfortunately unable to sign early signing period with D1, there's still going to be a couple here and there currently looking for players Division I side, but this is definitely a time to where I would recommend going down to Division II, possibly Division III or NAIA schools. All right. So this also means that there's more work to be done. So that means they're academically or connection-wise. Or athletically, there may be certain rate that coaches really want you to achieve before they want to start talking about recruiting with you. Certain academics, certain grades, certain test scores that they want you to achieve before being able to sign. And then connections is just being more proactive with this. All right. So again, if you are currently looking for D1 programs and you are unfortunately not able to sign in that early signing period for them, again, start searching for D2 programs, D3 programs, or even possibly junior college programs. All right, there's still definitely great schools out there that are actively looking all the way throughout your whole year. So you definitely want to do as much as you can to really generate some of that interest. And developing interest is very, very vital. So you want to be, again, proactive in all this. You always want to make sure that you're doing as much as possible with the outreach, whether it's emails, phone calls, meeting the coach in person, seeing the coach, letting them know that you're playing in specific tournaments, things like this, to let them know that you're still very, very interested in that school. Awesome, great. Well, that is actually all that I wanted to talk to you about tonight. Hopefully this was very useful for people that are watching this as a recording. Those that are actually attending this class, I do have this question survey for y'all to fill out. Please do this and if this class was helpful for you or not. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us at 877-845-6272 or you can email us at recruitinghelp@ncsaa.org. Excuse me. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening in. And if you have any questions for those that are watching this recording, please feel free to reach out to us. Awesome. Thanks so much for your time and have a great night, guys.